right. I think it is time to start. We can wait. I didn't know that. Hello. Hello.
So can you hear me?
Hi. Who is this?
This is Angelito or Bong.
Great. Let's see if Mohammed might jump on. We'll see. So let's start with some check-ins. Usually we do check-ins. So I don't know if you have a link to the notes, but I'll link it here in our chat as well. Notes.
Not yet, because Jay scheduled me, I think, for an interview.
Yeah, I'm Jay.
So, hi. Oh, hi, Jay.
Were you able to get on the notes?
Just starting to read it first, but
I don't quite
check
understand,
here.
but anyway, I linked the notes in the chat here on Jitsi. So if you want to get on the notes, you can. But you can also should be able to see my screen if you can see it, and I am doing our live streaming. So I always encourage people to not have anything that they don't want to be public. You know. So anyway, so we start check-ins.
Hmm.
So we start check-ins. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes. I'm trying to go back to the Upwork. That is where you posted the link, right?
Well,
Hello?
I posted on Upwork as well, but I just posted it in the
Hello, can you
chat.
hear me?
Yeah, I think we need to refresh. Maybe we have a lag going on, so I'm just gonna refresh real quick. Hello. Can you hear me? Did you refresh?
Yes, I'm already on the check-ins tab.
Okay. All right. So I can start. So we start with a number between 1 and 9, and I would give myself like a 2.3. And then we say what we've been working on. I have been working on lots of token profiles. I've been working on the recruitment. I've been working on the finances, assets, trying to help Lucy, who is having an issue right now. So we're trying to help Lucy out. And I've been, coordinating with HR board and dealing with uh, government compliance and much more. Busy, 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 busy. All right.
Okay, so this is like a project management chart for okay.
No, this is just my check-in. This is what I've been doing over the last few days. So you're gonna check in, give a number between, 1 and 9, and then what you've been working on, which so far has just been, your proposal, right?
Okay, so 0 being the lowest, 9 being the highest, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you just tell me your number? What's your number between 1 and 9?
So around 3.
Great. Cool. All right. And then what is your check-in like? What have you been working on? How are you doing?
Okay, working on the documents that reading the links provided for the recruitment. So I can just input it here, right?
You would just say it again. I can type.
Okay. Recruitment link review
Recruitment
and
link
onboarding review.
onboarding review. Cool. And you also did initial like proposal. Awesome. Oh look, we have Mohammed. Nazir. You made it, Nazir. We're doing our check-ins. Can you hear me? You're on mute right now. Hello, Nazir. You're on mute. You need to hit the mute button. Huh. You are on mute. Oh well. So hopefully when... Oh, he disappeared.
So where are you physically located, Jay?
I'm in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. California, United States. Awesome. Alright, so anyways, maybe Nazir will come back. I don't know. So let's go to our topics. So, I mean, mainly just focusing on the interview. I think our first topic would just be to do interview, right? So this would be with Angelito interview. Let's say 12 to 24 minutes. Desired outcomes would be like, answer questions, and then do interview and next steps. Okay, does that sound like a good first topic?
Yep. I'm all good.
Cool. So we after that we would want to get into hire proposal and actually figure out like the next steps and whether or not we can move forward. So let me just respond to each board here. So all right, so we are on topic 1. So after we do a topic, we set up this tab, and then we say, in this case, it's the interview, and then we copy and we paste just the interview information and put that at the top, and that kind of gets our topic started. And then also, obviously, if we can, we try to set a timer because we're really, really bad with timekeeping. So it's
Okay.
good.
You're on the focus desired outcomes topics, right? Tab.
Well, I'm moving to the topic 1 tab. So we just got agreement on our first topic. And so
Okay.
now that we have agreement on our first topic, I'm going to topic 1 tab, which is the next tab over. And then I already put the title, and then we're doing 12 to 24 minutes. So I'll put 24 minutes here, and then I'm going to start that. And then we also need to get our rhythm going and make sure we don't miss our break. So we do breaks at the bottom and top of each hour, and then we do stretching and pausing every 3 minutes. Something happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we just try to keep track of the human rhythm as well as the work. All right, so the interview itself, but let's answer questions. So let's do any questions, answer questions, and then we'll go into the interview, and then we'll go into the next step. So that's kind of like our little mini topics for topic 1. So do you have any questions to start with?
Actually, none so far. Just waiting for the actual onboarding or the orientation, if there is. Yep.
Yeah, well, if you have any pressing questions, we can ask that now. But basically, once we get agreement to hire you, then it's just a matter of scheduling the orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, got it.
we can schedule it for tomorrow, for example, or whatever. But it's like we have to look at all of our priorities and then fit it in somewhere. We also have multiple orientations that are recorded, so you can always watch some of orientations on videos as well. But anyways, the point is that there's a lot going on, and we just need to juggle between doing the official like training. We call it like the official like leadership training, and then we have what we would call just like the work training and the policy training, which is just every day, like to actually do the work, right? So when we talk about training and our specific like leadership and official training, that does not really have anything to do with the actual work. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah, so the work training is just like right now you're getting training. You're learning how to set up a session. You're learning how the topics work. You're learning how the timing works, how we coordinate the interviews. This is all part of training. So you're always getting training. You're always in the apprenticeship role. You're always learning. We're always reviewing policies. We're always going through the specific responsibilities and work assignments, and then we're always going into how to do them and watching how to do it so you can learn how to do it. So that's continuous training, and it never stops basically because we're always working and doing sessions and the such. But as far as our official overall training, that is for the leadership to understand what's going on. What is the bigger picture? What does the organization do? What are our methods? How do we operate in terms of like the bigger picture and understanding what's going on? Because that is very, very helpful to being successful. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. But that will all be explained in the orientation.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Okay, so now we're doing our stretch, and the stretch represents the halfway point between the breaks. So this you stand up and do quick 30-second stretch.
Yep.
Good. All right. So any other questions before we go into the interview?
I'm all good, Jay. Most probably the questions would come in later.
Right. Yes, we'll do more questions after the interview. So the interview, anyone can fill this out, but I'll get started. So name that's work being evaluated. So this is Angelito. My name is Jay. Okay, so first thing is speaking English. I mean, your English seems great, so everything's fine. Speaking English language efficiently with quickness also seems very good. Professional, you seem very professional, so that all's fine. Internet and audio connection. How's your internet and audio?
It's all good. I have a 500 Mbps internet speed. Uh, yep.
Okay, so
With a
you're
backup of 250 with another ISP provider.
cool. Computer. How's your computer?
Uh, yes, I'm using an HP and I have a backup Mac.
Okay, and I saw you writing a little bit in during the check-in, so that was good. Sometimes it's hard to even get people to get on a computer and just write. So, do you show up on time and are reliably present? If you are not able to make it to a session, that is perfectly fine. You simply tell us. You'd say, "Oh, I need to cancel. I can't make it." So ideally before the session. So that's the question. Do you show up on time or do you cancel in advance?
No, once I'm committed, I always show on time. So the meeting is every 5 a.m. Oh, 5 a.m. here in Manila, so I'm all good.
Okay. Yeah. So that's good, but it's you can always cancel, take a day off, do whatever you want. If you're feeling sick or whatever, just let us know in advance. It's always helpful. Okay. All right.
Okay.
You control your own schedule, right? So do you follow through with work until it is completed? So completing work and doing deliverables is very difficult, right? Our budget, which is what we're talking about with your proposal. So when we talk about your proposal, we're talking about.
Yep, the back and forth. Yep, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, got it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. But the proposal that we are discussing currently for hiring you is what we call your base pay. Okay, you get paid, and anybody in our team will get paid this their base pay regardless of whether they complete any work.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So does that make sense? So what I'm talking about next is like, beyond just doing work, right? The question is, like, again, so your current budget is $576 per month. Our goal is to pay you $576 a month, even if you get nothing done. Does that make sense? That's like your base pay. So if you actually get work completed, you can get bonuses and additional payments on top of your base pay. And that's what this question is. The question is, do you follow through with work until it's actually completed with a deliverable? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you answer the question?
Yes. I always deliver and I always show up on time and try to complete the task as much as possible to meet the deadlines to
Yeah.
avoid any bottlenecks, within the team.
Okay.
And yep.
Yeah, but it can be very difficult, especially with the kind of work that we do. It's a lot of our work is long term, so you have to keep following through
Hmm.
day after day after day, sometimes for months, in order to get the work completed. All right, so the next question is, do you like to do work with minimal oversight and training? So, we don't have a lot of time to do training. We also operate a little bit more like, I would say, an apprenticeship model where you kind of watch and observe. So the
Hmm.
question is, are you comfortable with, making mistakes and trying things out even without full training? And then in that concept, some people prefer to get fully trained before they ever even start doing work. And we find that when we spend dozens of hours training people, they never do anything, right?
Yep.
They'll get training, you endlessly train them, they endlessly want more training, and then they never actually do any work and then they leave. So it's like,
Yep. I do understand.
yeah.
It's costly. For me, it's okay to make mistake during the initial, but if there is a proper work instruction that can be followed, or video or tutorial that I can follow, as long as there's a clear instruction, I would be able to do the task. So I'll just have to shoot you an email, most probably, if I need to ask a question or send a chat in a specific GC's room. Yep.
Yeah, it's we have Discord, but we really should be communicating on social media. We'll work that out and go over all the policies.
Yep.
All right. So so you're currently saying, okay. All right. So basically with our
Time for
model,
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
okay. So with our model, what we do is called the work continuity group. And with the work continuity group, you get 1.5 hours per day for New World, and you get 1.5 hours per day for Old World. So that's a total of 3 hours per day times 7 days is 21 hours per week. So you're currently, um, in essence, your maximum pay is budgeted at 21 hours per week. So you're talking about 21 hours per week for 750 756 per month. Is that double? Let me double check that so that we don't make a mistake here. 756 per month. Okay, so this question is related to working more than 21 hours per week. So anytime that you work outside of your scheduled hours, so like right now, this is what we call Andromeda Hour 2, right, which is UTC 9 p.m. So we do every day at this same time. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yep.
So if you want to work at other times, then it is not upfront pay, and instead that would be your ownership in the cooperative. So what we're paying, the reason we do this is because nobody shows up, right? People just go off and
Okay.
they want to get paid and they're checking out the hours. It's like so crazy. It's like we need people to show up at the time to work with me to get the work done to move it all forward. It's very very important. So if no one's willing to show up at the time that's needed, it's just not very helpful. So that's why we do that. But the question is just, are you interested in working more than 21 hours per week? It's fine if you don't want to. We're not expecting anyone to show up more than their scheduled paid time, which is perfectly fine, right? But some people work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And so we want to make sure that if people are interested, that we know. So the question is simply, where are you at? Are you just planning on working your normal hours? Are you planning on working more? It obviously can change anytime, but yeah.
Definitely, I would comply with the schedule adherence that would be provided, and at the same time, more hours of work, which is that is more better for me. So I'm willing to extend and
Mhm.
work more hours than the usual minimum 21
Time to
hours.
Cool.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Cool. All right. So basically, what you need to know in terms of our policies, like I mentioned before, your base pay is, there's no completed work required, right? So you don't have to finish any work and you still get your base pay, as long
Mhm.
as you do client work income. And we can cover that some more, but you have to spend, in our case, 1 hour per day on client work income to get full pay. So we'll cover that in more detail and how that works. But in the context of bonuses and additional pay, you can make unlimited value if you complete work. So let's say you can work 21 hours per week and you can, complete one task or zero tasks, right? We call them responsibilities though, one responsibility or zero responsibilities. Um, because a task is a little simpler than a responsibility. So if you completed like one or two within 24 hours, that's fine. But let's say you spent 40 hours and you completed 5 to 10 responsibilities, you might be able to get paid triple the amount of money because you're actually completing so much more work, right? So you can always, like, when we talk about working more hours, it doesn't mean you can't get paid for those hours. It just means that we're not paying people to not complete work. If they're not completing the work, they shouldn't be getting paid more than their base pay.
Extra hours, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yes.
All right, so let's go on to the next question. Do you follow policies? So we're covering some of our policies. So policies can get in the way, and some people just like moving forward without policies and just going fast. So do you prefer to learn the policies, take it slow, like really, understand the policies, or do you like to kind of take things fast and just not really worry about the policies and get work done, focus on the work?
Yep. Just focus on the work, and at the same time, just to get to know about the general do's and don'ts that would affect my employment.
Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, following policies can be difficult. I would say overall, the um, the main thing that we try to get to is called policy training. And when we break policies, our goal is to know that we broke them, right? So
Mhm.
so it's fine to
Taking
break policies.
accountability. Yep.
Yeah, it's always fine to break policies. Our goal is just like, let's do it on purpose. Let's say this policy is not serving us at this time, but we don't want to change it, right? If a policy is never serving us,
Time to
then we
take a
need to
break.
change it.
Please stop.
Okay.
Write down whatever you were
Mhm.
about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So it's always fine to change our policies, and then we just do a proposal and get agreement on it. But as far as like
Yep.
breaking the policies, ideally we know we're breaking the policy. So every time you break a policy, we try to inform you of that, and then we do that at the policy training so you can learn what the policy is, so you know what you broke. And it's perfectly fine to break policies. It's just better to know that you did it. All right, so now by following policy, we take a 5 minute break. So at the bottom of the hour, we always take a 5 minute break, and if we don't take a 5 minute break, then we're breaking policy. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a 5 minute break, and then I think there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions left, and then we go on to next steps. Okay. So let's take a break. And the next question, just so you know, is about your own personal passions and interests and understanding them in relationship to the alignment of our social work and things like that. But yeah, let's take a quick 5 minute break, and we'll be back at the bottom of the hour. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, so let's get started again. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Cool. All right. Next question. So the question is, your interests and passions and how they're related to what we do as a social organization. Like, what are your
Okay.
personal interests? What are your passions? Like, what? I mean, it's perfectly fine. Some people just have no social interests or passions, but we're always interested in people who do.
Okay. It's just like I'm telling something about myself. My passion is for my kids as well. To just have be supportive and at the same time focus on excelling on the endeavors that I have, specifically on process improvement and things that matters or have a big impact. Like when I saw your post on Upwork, I'm the person that is looking at it on a bigger picture rather than on what is up front right now. So I'm kind of idealistic and at the same time an adventurous type of person that loves challenges as well and would want to be successful in every aspects in my life. Interest is hobbies and interests just cooking, drinking, going out, enjoying life, going to the beach, playing frisbee. Yeah, that's it. Navigating and reading Facebook posts, checking on different mukbangs and everything.
Great, great. Cool, cool. Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you're definitely into the bigger perspective of like seeing how we can address some of the bigger challenges in the world. Um, Obviously, our goal as an organization is to make everybody's lives better so they can support and spend more time with their family. That is obviously what we want to do. But the way that we do that is by helping social programs and trying to
Hmm.
address some of the global issues of corruption and just like capitalist greed that sort of destroys the planet and
Hmm.
destroys life and other animals and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, in terms of the bigger picture, it's definitely difficult, and also, it's fine for people to just want to do for their own because that is in the bigger picture. That's what our end goals are, is to make
Time to
sure.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's time. All right, so we're now over time. So let me go ahead and. All right, how do I stop this? Oh, here it is. Okay, stop. Okay. So let me just go ahead and do policy so I can show you how to do time correctly. So we're at time. So we go back to the focus and desired outcomes and view up, and we say, okay, we're doing topic 1.1. Continue your interview, and it'll probably
You're on
take.
what tab, Jay?
We're we're um we're at time, right? Right. So we're gonna continue the interview, and then after the interview, maybe we could talk about the hire proposal as like a separate topic, as topic 2, and this might take 12 to 24 minutes. So this would be the desired outcome for the hire proposal would be to uh, build agreement on a temporary worker hire as opposed to just the recruitment. So that will take a little. It might take some pop work. So we might need to let's go ahead and do a review because we are going to need to get the status and next steps and status for hire. Okay. So we'll do another view up before the topics. All right. So the idea is 6 to 12 minutes to just finish up the interview and quickly go over next steps. Do we have agreement on
Okay.
that?
Yes, Jay.
Okay, cool. So we're going to continue with topic 1.1, but I was just kind of showing you how we follow policy. So then I would set the clock for additional 12 minutes. And so every time you run out of time, we try to take a break and stop and pause and look at that. Also, we did take a 5-minute break. So we technically have 5 more minutes. I forgot to add that. So timing is difficult.
Yeah.
You're always looking for people to help with time. All right, so let's continue the interview. So the last two questions are just on skills. The first one is global scheduling with dealing with multiple time zones and all that. Do you have experience with multiple time zones?
Yes. With my previous works, been working during different time zones, supporting UK, Australia, and US time zones in Asia.
Cool. Yeah, scheduling can be difficult. And as you know, we do our octants. So we take the 24 hours of the day, we split it up into 8 equal octants, and each octant is 3 hours. And currently we're in Andromeda. So when I say Andromeda, it's the same time for both of us. But for you,
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
yeah, so Andromeda for you is like whatever, like 5 a.m. or whatever, and for me it's like 2 in the afternoon or 10 to whatever. But the point is that you can just say Andromeda hour 2. We know exactly when that is, and it helps
Hmm.
with scheduling and understanding things. So the next one is about virtual assistant work. Like, do you have experience being an assistant to executives, like just the whole role of executive assistant, virtual assistant, administrative assistant, that kind of work?
Yes. Been working with different clients virtually, as an executive assistant, working on report building, reporting analyst, and documentation for different clients.
Cool.
Majority of which is lead generation, scheduling, appointment setter. Yep.
Cool. All right, so the next question is about meetings. Do you have any experience with facilitation, timekeeping, note taking, actually running a session? Let's say 5, 10 people are here. We're trying to run and coordinate the session.
Yes, I've been doing setting up meetings and at the same time handling them using Google Meet, Google Suites, and Microsoft Teams. Also able to provide presentations and decks creations.
Okay. The next question, it looks like you already went to it, but it's like, Google Documents, specifically spreadsheets. We do pretty much everything on spreadsheets. So you're getting good at formulas and financial calculations on spreadsheets.
Yes, on Microsoft and Google Suites
Okay.
and Google Sheets. So, yep.
All right. And then the last question is like multitasking, working fast, solving problems quickly, juggling many different things simultaneously.
Yes, I had that. I was able to build that type of approach when you're working as a reporting analyst. You need to juggle different spreadsheets, different data information, gathering information at the same time making analysis on the numbers and creating graphs all at the same time. So even if you're just doing one spreadsheet, your mind is thinking of several items on how to tackle the issue.
Cool. All right. So I think that is it on the interview. All right. So those are all of our questions.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we already knew. I mean, you were pretty qualified and everything looks fine. I mean, that's not really a question. So let's just see if there's any other questions that you have, and then we can go into next steps.
Okay. The question is just a general overview, which you already had provided. Um, just wondering on what are the main tasks that we need to do on a daily basis. Is it creating reports, or monitoring clients, or building spreadsheets, or report templates, or scheduling,
Yeah, I mean,
or would that depend on the client?
it just depends on the day, really. We need to do all of those things and so much more. So, um, I can easily answer what needs to be done in the next week, right? But
Yeah.
but our number one top priority overall is by far what we call revenue generation, right? So revenue
Okay.
generations means bringing in more external money into the network, okay? So when we talk about income, and specifically team income and what we call client work income, we can make money by doing work that we already have budgeted within the network. So we already have money in the network, but it's not enough, for example, to pay me, right? So for me, my minimum wage is $18 per hour. Is minimum wage for Jay, right? And then from there, a living wage is like $31 per hour for local jurisdiction,
In
right? For
California.
for individual, right? Individual jurisdiction. So it's extremely expensive, right? To pay me, and we just don't have the money to pay me. So one of your primary jobs is making sure I get paid, making sure you get paid, making sure everybody's getting paid. We have to all work and support each other. So that starts with income, revenue generation. Okay. So I can pay you with doing income. We'll go over the client work income, and there's plenty of client work to do. But what we need to focus on is revenue generation so that we can bring in more money so that we can hire more people, because there's no way the two of us can do all the work, and there's no way that I can get paid without us bringing more money in, right? So the revenue generation consists of like 4 or 5 things. One is our token profiles and getting our tokens publicly functional, right? That's going to help tremendously. From there, we need to do like, grants, just writing grants. We could bring in
Time to
money.
stretch. Please stop.
All right,
Stand
quick
up
stretch.
and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, so we have token profiles, grants. We've got fundraising, and fundraising can be, social media. It can be, donations. Uh, and then we also have investor relations, right? So we do have a potential investor contract, internal. It's a potential internal contract, internal investor agreement, I think is the right word, that we can make to potentially have additional, like, I don't know, $10,000 to $20,000. So this is very important, top priority. And then the last one is, client outreach and sales.
Are you using Salesforce or LinkedIn
For what?
for the outreach?
We
For
haven't
the
done any client
link.
outreach. Nobody has been willing to do any serious client outreach. But we did create our website. So our website is socialvalue.group. And that's like our client portal, right? This would be like our public client portal for outreach, right? So I would say that if we were going to do client outreach, the first step would be updating and making sure our website it looks good, that we think that it's okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. And then we would go ahead and start outreaching, whether it's on LinkedIn or Salesforce or whatever we want to do. But these would be the 4 top priorities for revenue generation. Okay? Does that sort of make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Does that answer your question as far as some of the top priorities?
Yes. It did.
Great. All right. So
Just checking on the SBG website and the landing pages. Yep.
yeah, that's our social value group website, and that is basically our primary public portal for specifically client work that we would want them to hire us to do work for them, and that would be like external client
Mhm.
outreach. But again, we don't necessarily have to do client outreach. I mean, we do have some money, and then we have other options for bringing in funds besides just client outreach. But if we can find a new client, that would be very good and would help bring in more money. But it also makes us busier because we have a whole bunch more work to do. The other 4 options doesn't involve more work, right? So if we can bring in money through our tokens, through the grants, through the fundraising, we're fundraising money and bringing in
Time
money.
to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
We're bringing in money for the work that we're already doing. When we bring in money for client outreach, we get busy doing more work that we didn't have to do before. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the number one issue with client outreach is that we are not functional as an organization. We're falling apart. Everything is a disaster. It's been, there was the whole legal action, all the other issues with the old team, and it was just a massive disaster. And that's been basically since the beginning of the year. So this entire year, and it's already July, the entire 6 months, nothing has moved forward as a team, right? So how could we ever feel comfortable hiring an external client if we can't even function ourselves, right? So I'm very worried about taking on new contracts when nobody can even do the work that we already have that we need to do. So it's a very concerning proposition, is to take on work that no one's going to help with, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, if we can get a team functional, client outreach would be great, because then we'll have the ability to meet the needs of the client. But if we don't have the ability to meet the needs of the client, which I would say right now is current case, doing client outreach and getting more sales might not help us, because if we just lose the client because we don't get the work done, it doesn't do anything for us, right? Cool. All right. So I think that's it for all of our, and I'll just add one last thing, which is also considered internal. So I can go, there's so much internal client work. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of assignments. So I'll go over those later. But the bottom line is that one of these assignments is new world worker recruitment. Oh, look, we're out of time again. So if we can find people for New World who are, I've never had particularly success at working with anyone from Old World. Maybe you'll be different. But for me, finding somebody in the Americas who's awake at the same time I'm awake is very helpful, because then that will make sure that there's communication and engagement and activities and all that. So anyways, we'll work that out over time, but let's go quickly into our next steps, okay? So the next steps is you need to have your pop, which we could do now. Probably takes 5 to 10 minutes to do your pop. We need to do the proposal. So this will be like what we call like a temporary worker hire proposal. So right now we hired you just for the recruitment. And so this would take maybe 12 to 25 minutes. Then from here, we can either go into the orientation, or we could go into our prioritization.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So work priorities. Okay. So and we also have hours tracking and tokens. Let's just call it hours tracking and payroll. Okay. So these would be the next steps I would say are pretty key. Do you have any other questions, or should we just start jumping into these next steps?
You can proceed.
What was that?
All good, Jay. We can proceed.
You're ready to proceed. Okay, anyway, so let's go back to our focus desired outcome. My understanding is that you did not have a pop, right? Is that correct? You did not complete your pop?
Not yet, because
okay. So I think that we need to do that
I have
first.
A short time.
Yeah, so let's just go ahead and spend just a moment doing your pop. So topic 2 would be a quick, this would be Angelito's WCG pop. So this wouldn't take very long. And this will take, I don't know, 12, 24 minutes. We'll put that, but it should go quicker. It should go pretty quick. Let's say 9 to 18 minutes. And then this is like quickly create WCG pop for Angelito. All right, and then we'll do a view up, and then we'll go into the hire proposal. Actually, probably just go into the hire proposal right away. All right, so we go to topic 2 and 3. We do a quick pop just to get that out of the way because it's required, and then we do the hire proposal. Okay. That sound good for the next 2 topics?
Yes.
All right, so now we have agreement on topic 2 and topic 3. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new tab, and this is going to be topic 2. This is going to be pop, okay? So then I copy and I paste the title at the top of the topic, and I put that right there at the top, right? So from here, what we're going to need is the WCG pop. I think I sent it to you, but let's see, WCG team pop. Team main sheet. Huh. Here I'm on the wrong one. Boom. WCG team pop. All right. So let me link this here. This is the WCG team pop. So do you want to do this, or do you want me to do it for you real quick? Or we could try to do it together.
Yep.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Oh look, Muhammad did do a pop. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Too bad he disappeared and didn't make it. So Muhammad was the other one who's supposed to be here today. So he did a pop, but you weren't able to do one. So this is old world. So again, my thing is, do you want me to do it for you? Or do you want to do it, and I can help you with that?
Yep. I'm creating right now a sheet. So
No, you don't want to create a sheet. You're going to create a tab.
Oh, a tab. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it a tab. I guess it calls itself a sheet, but yeah, it's a tab.
Yeah.
All right. So
So you need the full name, right?
oh no, you
just the
don't need
first
your
name?
full name. I don't know why he put his whole name. We could delete that. So it's just well, it's his first name is Mohammed, so it's Nasir is like his actual name, right?
Yep.
So you could just write Nasir instead of Mohammed Nasir, but it's fine. So I would even just copy and paste or duplicate an existing sheet, but you can just copy and paste Mohammed Nasir's, and then you can update it.
Okay. For what's the difference again for the old world and the new world?
We're reducing the difference. We are now going into a slightly different model where we're trying to have a little bit more equivalency, but the bottom line is that the old world works 2 octants, and so you're also going to have an old world octant that you're going to need to schedule, and we'll discuss that. But that will happen after we hire you. It'll be the next step after we get agreement on the hiring. And then the new world only works during Andromeda at this time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And originally before, the old world was only going to work during old world, and new world was only going to work during new world. So that became a problem because there was old world workers who wanted to work during new world. So that was a problem, especially since we can't find new world workers. We decided to just double the amount of time that old world workers get. So old world workers they have to work during old world and new world. And then new world workers work just new world, right? And so that actually means that old world workers cost 3 times as much than the new world workers. So it's actually the other way around, where basically the equivalency is that under our policies is that old world workers are new world workers are 3 times an old world worker. And that creates the equivalency so that there's equality between old world and new world.
Time to take a
value.
break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. You can work on your pop a little bit. If you have any questions after the break, I'll help you finish it up. And then we can go on to topic 3, which will be the proposal. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's take a quick break.
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, Mac. How's your pop going?
Still trying to figure it out.
Oh, I can't quite hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Just trying to mirror out on Mohammed's pop-up. So estimated minimum wage is $6 per hour. Then the
No,
842 I
I don't
got
know
this
what
month.
the minimum wage for Philippines, Makati, Philippines. So the minimum wage would be actual minimum wage. So for example, here minimum wage is $18 an hour. Let's see if we have anything for Philippines. It might be kind of old. I don't see anything for Philippines. So something older. So you have no idea what your minimum wage is? So minimum wage for Philippines. It's not as important anymore. It says it's 573 pesos. Minimum wage ranges.
I think it's already 610 per day for regular workers.
610 per day. So we do 610.
But it was increased to 640, which
So it
was
would be
implemented last July.
100 pesos a day, an hour. So it's that pesos PHP to US dollar is 100. So it'd be about $1.72 per day. We could say $2 a day, right? Oh, no, $2 per hour. $1.72 per hour. Does that make sense? So anyways, we don't want to pay anyone minimum wage, but the point is that I wish I could even get minimum wage, but minimum wage is like $1.76 per hour. Does that make sense?
So $1.76.
So your and then 842 is correct. 29 is perfect. Equity range 400,000. So for your equity, that is going to be calculated. On here. So we're going to add Philippines. Wait, no, we have Philippines. Here we go. We have General Santos City. So we're going to add Philippines for where you are, which is
Time to pause.
Makati,
Please stop.
Makati,
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
$1.60 per hour. So this has not been verified, but we'll work that out later. All right, so the individual is 842. So put that here, 842. And then the cost of the family jurisdiction is 2949. So we put that here, 2949. And then the difference is 2,107. It's actually a substantial difference. And this is July 18th, 2024. I guess mine might be bigger. So I'm in Palo Alto, California, and it says 8,000. This has actually gone way up since this is actually old already. But yeah, interesting. Okay, and then this all gets calculated
So the
like
equity
this. So your equity is going to be $750,000. So again, the equity, the 4-year overall equity package changes between the different jurisdictions across the world. So for your jurisdiction is actually pretty high compared to some jurisdictions that for in the world that we hire. So yours is $750,000 for 4 years full time. So if you did full time for 4 years, the value of that would be $750,000, and the equivalent to that to an investor would be 1/4 of that, which would be 25% of it, right? So that's all correct. All right. I don't know if you did anything for this other part stuff. So So the part, so now you just need to put your current pay rate. So your current pay rate is $6 per hour. Does that make sense? You're also getting a lot of clicking noises. I don't know why that's happening, but good to know. So are you able to put your...
They're all good now, Jay?
Yeah. So for what I would recommend doing is that it's just copying and pasting from somebody else, right? So this would be like an example. So you copy and paste from someone else. And then in this case, you're going to have old world and new world. So right now, the current moon month is July, August 24. And then we are in the 164 degree, I believe it's east moon month.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So you're doing the New World Andromeda Accent, and that's going to be $6 per hour plus overtime. So what, you said it's 5 a.m. for you right now?
Yes.
So Andromeda starts an hour before this, so it would be 4 a.m. would be what we call Andromeda. Oops, I'm in the wrong tab. So let's go to topic 2 pop. So 4 o'clock a.m. is Andromeda hour 1. Hour 1. And then Andromeda hour 2 would be 5 a.m. And then Andromeda hour 3 would be 6 o'clock a.m. Okay, so the way that it works for us is that normal time, normal hours time, or normal cost is 9 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So if you're working before or after 9 a.m., it's taking away from your personal life, taking away from your family and everything like that. So we call that overtime 1.5x, right? So normal time is 1x. And this is, again, this is policy training, right? I'm training you on our policies. So overtime is from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Okay? Then you have what we call double overtime, and double overtime is 2x. And so double overtime is during the middle of the night, which is 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Okay, so for you, you would be getting 2x double overtime for the first hour, 2x double overtime for the second hour, and then 1.5x overtime for the third hour of Andromeda. So if we average that all together, that equates to 1.833x. Okay, so we could actually calculate your time even more exactly. So 1.33x overtime, which would be $6 per hour for the first hour, $6 per hour for the second. Oh no, $12 an hour for the first hour, $12 an hour for the second hour, and then the third hour is going to be 6 times 1.5 is going to be 9. Yeah, 9. Okay, so you can also just multiply 6 by 1.833, and it should be exactly the same.
Time to pause.
amount.
Please stop. Close your eyes.
$11 an hour.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay. So for that, you're getting an additional $5 per hour overtime, which is going to be equal to $11 per hour times 1.5 hours per day times 7 days per week, which is equal to, so it's going to be 11 times 1.5 times 7 times 4. All right. So this will be exactly $462. $462 per month, and that'll be the max. on New World. Okay, so New World Andromeda octant. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
So then you have Old World, and we don't know the octant. You're gonna have to schedule at a time where other people are available and want to schedule for it, right? So I don't know what time that'll be, but we'll figure that out. But either way, the goal is for you to be working during the day at some point. And then
During the
that
day
would be
on your time zone, right?
what?
During the day on my time zone.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be seven days per week, which is equal to the same amount it was before. Let's see. It said $252 per month. $252 per month, and this is the max. And I'll double check that as well. So just like this, put a 6. Yeah, 252. All right, so we're out of time again, but I think we're done here. So the total, the maximum for Old and New World is equal to 252 plus 462. 252 plus 462 is $714. $714 per month. And then the minimum is going to be equal to $0 per month, right? So you do need to do client work income. No client work incomes means $0 with no client work income. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so that is the current calculations. You're going to be getting paid on Workana.
Time to
Upwork.
stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. Okay, so fiat payment's always going to be on Upwork. All of your funds get paid through Upwork. We have to do it for 2 years. All right, you can put your hours here. I don't think any of this is it, but you can. So for now, just track all your hours on your POP, right? And let's also make a line here just so we can keep organize that. And then for your token value, you said that you wanted your tokens to be put, have someone else oversee them for the trust account. So
Yes.
I made that account here, and so I'll click that and link that there. And then also you can see, put on line 34, you can actually see your current tokens. So you currently have 2 tokens. I'll also send over a little bit of ether so you can use them. But this is the token value that you have so far. So the 10664Z and the 26672. So these represent the individual value and the family jurisdictional value for your 1.5 hours that you already spent before you came to the interview. Okay. So you said you had estimated time spent on communications was 1.5 hours before the interview. All right, that makes sense?
Yes.
And I can quickly cover just kind of how, I guess we're kind of ready to go into hire proposal. So your POP is perfect. I mean, this looks great. And then just continue to track your work hours. So for example, today we would say, okay, you know, it's July 18, 19 or whatever. And you did Andromeda hour 2, and you did interview, POP, you know, or proposal planning, and then that right now we're at 1.25 hours, right? But that it could go up. Maybe who knows how much time? Maybe we'll spend 2 hours, something like that.
You're on what tab again, Jay?
I wrote that under your work hours in your POP. Line 33 in your POP.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to be tracking your work hours, okay? So I'm going to go into the hire proposal and just wanted to quickly, so we're on to topic 3 now. And I wanted to quickly cover the token value. So let's say you worked so far, let's just say 1.5 hours. You'll probably spend at least 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours today. So your base pay, right? So everything's
Time to
calculated with
pause.
base pay.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So your base pay would be what we call the $6 per hour, right? $6 per hour. And again, you can change that. The deadline to change your base pay is
6 weeks
full
after
moon.
the full moon.
The full moon, yeah. All right. So, and to change it, you just would make another like online 10 in your pop. You would just add like a different moon month. So you keep your current pay rate, and then for a new month in the future, which would start 6 weeks after the full moon, you put the new month and the pay rate for the new month, okay? And then it automatically takes effect after 6 weeks. I can help you with that whenever you want to do it. Anyway, so let's say your pay rate's $6 per hour. You just worked 1.5 hours, right? So then we multiply that and we get $9, right? So if right now you just worked that $9, we would look at your jurisdiction, and it says the jurisdictional pay rate is $7 or about $7, right? So if you're getting paid $9, your jurisdiction rate would then have two tokens that you would get. And this is if you do the client work income. So the two tokens would represent the difference between the $7 and the $9. But then you also, and this would be for the individual, two tokens of individual jurisdiction. Then you also have the family jurisdiction, which is in this case $25 per hour. So if you take the $9 per hour and then you take the $25 difference, you're going to be getting an additional 16 tokens for family jurisdiction. Okay, so if you look at your address right now, you have two tokens. The 664Z is the individual jurisdiction, and the 6722 is the family jurisdiction. All right, so that's how that works. And then for the bonus pay, bonus and overtime pay, again, also requires client work income. So if you do the client work income, we would calculate your bonus and overtime pay, which would also include the additional $2, $3 for overtime. And so that would be a separate bonus payment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. All right. So, wait, no.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Yeah, the overtime payment would actually be it's $3 per hour, but then you did 1.5 hours, so you're actually going to be getting $4.50 overtime. Okay, for the time you've spent so far today. Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So before I move on, I want to make sure it's clear that the proposal, this is on line 8, is to hire you as a temporary worker. So being hired as a temporary worker for the World Continuity Group Old World and the New World, 1.5 hours per day, 7 days a week. Okay? So, and then we're changing this from 504 to 462. 462 because we know that the New World overtime is 1.83. 1.83x overtime. All right, and then we want to make sure we have clarity that this requires HR board approval and verification. So the HR board is going to review this and vote on it.
That's the voting part. Right?
Yes, although we're going to vote as well. And then from there, we are going to need agreement on terms. And then we're also going to need your profile picture, right? So you need profile picture and bio for the website, okay? So these would be the 10 details that do need to happen. And then we want to add the estimated time spent on communications is 1.5 hours, and then the estimated time spent on recruitment / interview is going to be, let's say, 2 hours. Okay? So I think that is everything. The only other thing I want to make sure it's very clear here is that I'll put this at the bottom. If you agree to, if we all agree to hire you, if we all agree to hire Angelito, then you get paid, you get upfront pay with the
Time to
monthly
pause.
payroll.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so the key thing here is that if you didn't work with us, we would pay you the 2 hours, $12, right? So if Angelito did not get approved, we would pay the $12 as agreed for 2 hours of recruitment work. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Cool. So that's just important to make sure we're on the same page for the payments, because sometimes that can be a problem for people who choose not to work with us and don't get approved. All right. So I think that's it for the proposal. Questions on the proposal?
I would be receiving that today, Jay. The proposal.
This is, we're going to vote on this right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then this is going to, if we approve it, then we can move forward with you as a worker. And then, because I'm fine with you working, and then the HR board will vote on it. We only have 2 people on the HR board, or two and a half if you include me. And then they will vote and verify it. I don't see any reason they wouldn't approve. Also, one of the policies that I'm getting into trying to do is adding jurisdictional value to the pay rates, because it's easier to compare pay rates together. That looks better. All right, so for example, you're at $6 an hour, but if you look here at the follow-ups, I think it's a really interesting table. I was doing all the follow-ups today and trying to get people into the interview. If you go all the way down to line 60, you can see in the follow-ups here, what I put is the percentage per hour per jurisdiction, right? So if I was, for example, making minimum wage, which is $18 per hour for me, my jurisdictional value would be $18 divided by 3,000, which is 50, wait, no, by 18 dollars divided by 31 would be 58%, right? So if I was making wage, I would be getting 58% of value. And you can see here on this chart that your proposal, even though your proposal is higher than other people's, one of the higher proposals, your percentage pay rate in relationship to jurisdiction is one of the lowest. Not as low as mine. I'm getting $0. Like mine's 0%. But I think it's just important to acknowledge people's, pay rates. So I would put here on number 1, I would say it's 78% of jurisdiction.
Stop, write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Right, because that gives them better perspective of the actual cost. Actually, it's 75% of jurisdiction. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and it gives you some wiggle room to obviously increase your pay rate. So any other questions for the proposal?
I'm all good, Jay. I'll just wait for the final voting and the proposal as well.
Well, under our policies during this particular session, which is our weekly main session, we can make any decisions that we want to. So the HR board is just verifying it. So HR board only has to verify. They do not have to approve. I think verify is not the right word. It would be to review. They would review. If they have concerns, they could certainly bring those concerns up, but we can hire you right now. I would say for me, the biggest concern is really just like, obviously we have a generally tight budget, but I think we can handle this for at least a month or two without any income generation or revenue generation. But for me, the main concern is just like, we don't have review yet from other team members, specifically Lucy and Mamoon. But I think that's okay. So let's go ahead and vote. And are there any other concerns? Otherwise, we can just go ahead and vote on this, and then we're done.
I'm all good, Jay. Just wanted to ask about the monthly pay. When you say monthly pay, would be every end of month, right?
Okay, so everything we do is based on the lunar cycle. So I'll come down here. Well, actually, I'll put it in the question. So I'll have a question here. When are payments? When is payroll, right? When is payroll? So payroll is monthly based on doing the work, right? So we have to do the actual payroll work. If no one ever does payroll, no one ever gets paid, right? So it's monthly based on doing the work, and that happens at the new moon, because everything we do is lunar. We use a lunar solar calendar for all of our financial systems. It works way better. So the way to think about it is that right now it's like the full moon. So like in 2 weeks from now, we would be doing payroll for this month. So if we go in here, we say, okay, date of next new moon, it is going to be August 4th. Okay, so August 4th is the next new moon. August 4th. So that means that we can do the payroll starting on August 4th and maybe do the payroll like within a week, within 3 days to a week after. So that just depends on us doing the work. So we just have to prioritize and schedule doing the payroll and then doing the payroll. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Under our policies, though, you do have the opportunity to do what's called individual payroll. Individual payroll can happen every day, every week. It really doesn't matter. You can always do individual payroll. And that's basically like an invoice. Right? So invoice. The only difference between an individual payroll and like team payroll is that, when you're doing it for everybody, it's kind of a little more helpful for everybody, but we can always just do an invoice and simplify. So going back to the voting, I voted 8. I support the proposal, so you can vote as well, although we'll note here that it's technically a conflict of interest because you're hiring yourself, right? So do you want to vote?
Oh, what's the highest vote?
We vote from 0 to 9, but the highest vote is would be at 8.99. Well, I guess I'm voting 8, so you could vote at 9. It's fine.
So I guess I'll vote on 7, since I'm still new and trying to learn everything.
Cool. All right. Are you gonna write in 7?
Oh no, I'll just do 9. I want to get this road.
Okay, cool. All right. So this passes with supportive consensus. So then I go ahead and I take this entire proposal and I copy it and I go into Discord because we don't have our proposals channel set up yet. And then I go into our proposals website or site. So I go into decisions and then I copy this and I push paste. And so now, oh no, the decision didn't work. It says my message is too long. So the message is too long, sometimes you have to break it up. So anyways, we're going to put this all, I had a whole website set up for our old business, but for our new business, we have to do it separately. So I put in this here for the first half, then I copy the second half. And then I print that, and then I'll put in the actual link. So this verifies forever this decision so that anyone can review and understand the decision. And then I would go ahead and I would copy this link. I would come into the HR board and I would say, HR board, This is Ben and Abu Bakar. Please review and
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
hiring Angelito. The interview went well.
We're on what tab again, Jay?
This is in the Discord. So let's go through some next steps. So we got you hired. So some next steps. Next steps are going to include the orientation. They're going to include communications setup. We need to do the terms. I would say the terms is our #1 top priority now. And then we need to get you on Discord and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So in this case on Discord, let's go ahead and link the site. So this would be SFC recruitment. It's not coming up, so let me see if I get it here. SFC recruitment. Yeah, this is it. And then I need to get the. Here we go, notes, and we are on topic. Here we go, topic 3. Next steps. Okay, so anyways, I put the recruitment site in there too. So I know this stuff is not perfect, but if you go to communications on our recruitment site, we have the link to the Discord for workers. But again, we don't want to use the Discord, and I'll explain that next. So continue Discord, let's see if this works. No, it's not working. Okay, whatever. Right. So the link is there. I'm not sure if it's the correct link, but because we need to update the website, it still needs a lot of work because it's all still in the old team. We just recently, it's been only like a month since we started this new team with SFC. Everything is still very, very new, and so we're not very organized. Also, we need to get you your joining the team packet. So this packet is very helpful for kind of getting your bearing straight. So joining the team packet, there it is. Okay, so this is the joining the team packet. So you had the original packet for the recruitment, and so the joining the team packet is actually not completed yet, but it goes through a lot of really good information that you can read and learn about. Okay. So I would say the first thing to do to get you hired is the terms. So under our policies, the details here that are required are your agreement to the terms and then the profile picture in the bio. These two things are required in order for you to start.
Please stop.
Work.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so let's go through each of these, and then we can go from there. All right, are you ready?
Wait, Jay, are you on the SFC main session sheet, right? And on what tab?
Topic 3. Topic 3, line 90. Well, line 89. Yeah. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why we use spreadsheets. It makes it like a million times easier to find where we are in meetings, because it's just like topic 3, line 90, boom, done, right? So we're gonna focus on agreement on the terms. So first thing I need to do is get the terms. So did you have any other questions before I go into the terms?
Actually, none. My next question was on the work and the task. Should we receive it via email, or do we have an HR dashboard that we get the task that needs to be done?
Mainly, we're just gonna schedule, right? So you're committed to working every day Andromeda, and then you need a schedule for Old World, and you're gonna be scheduling with Mamoon and Lucy and others for Old World. Ideally, we'll hire Nazir, or someone else. We'll figure that out. But as far as our primary goal is just scheduling, showing up every day for Andromeda, which is the same time as you showed up today. We just do that every day, and then each day we're getting focused on getting organized, putting things together. We have tons of priorities. So I would say if we can get through these topics, the first we need to get you hired, which we haven't even finalized getting you hired. We still need to have you agree to the terms and go over all the terms, and we have to make sure that you get your bio and your profile together. Okay?
Mm.
And there's actually one other thing that's required as part of that too, which is part of the terms, which includes your freelance verification statement. I don't know. We'll go over that. Anyways, the point is that once we get you hired, then we can start going into priorities and work goals. Every month we go through goals for the team and what we want to achieve, right? So in your case, the priorities are broken up. Priorities, we have sessions, right, which is going to be our communication. So communications and sessions and scheduling, that is always the number one priority. And for now, it's just show up Andromeda Hour 2, 9 p.m. UTC every day, Andromeda Hour 2. And then to schedule Old World sessions.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So do you understand the sessions and communications and schedule? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so then you have the internal operations. So for sessions, scheduling, all that, we make blue. Internal operations, we always make green. So for internal operations, you're looking at payroll to get paid, the budget, and the budget is due by the new moon. If we can't get agreement and approval for the budget by the new moon, you don't get paid anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So at the new moon, if there's no budget that's been approved and verified and certified by the HR board, starting the next day, no one is getting upfront payment until the budget gets approved. All right, does that make sense?
Yes.
So we have 2 weeks for that. And then you have the client work income. So the client work income is the third part, and we're talking about revenue generation. We're dealing with taxes. We're dealing with assets, token profiles, all these things. We have tons and tons of client work. You want to spend 33% of your time on client work income. That would be 1 hour per day is the goal to get paid, right? And then 33% on our internal operations, and then 33% on our communication. So today we're only spending time on communications and getting you hired and making decisions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So today we spend 2 hours. Tomorrow we want to get focused on client work income and or internal operations. We want to stop doing the sessions and get focused on the client work so that we can get paid. All right.
Yeah.
So as long as you can balance out that 33% of your time is always on client work, you will get paid. All right. And we schedule the client work. We work at the client work during the Andromeda Hour 2 sessions every single day. We should spend a minimum of 30 minutes in Andromeda and a minimum of 30 minutes in Old World. But overall, you want to do 1 hour per day of client work to get full pay. All right. And so if you miss a day, then the next day you want to do 2 hours of client work. All right. So getting back to getting you hired. So to get you hired, you need to do 2 things. You need to agree to the terms and you need to get your bio and your picture. So you can either do that now, or we can just, you could do that over the next 24 hours, and then we can meet again tomorrow and then do that, have it all finalized and verified for tomorrow.
Yeah, for the bios, there's a specific link where I need to put it.
Well, it's going to go on the website.
Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop.
Any specific
Close
format
your
for that?
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I'll show you the website. You can see everybody's bios. Right. So
Yep. Okay. So that I can follow it.
Yeah, and the bios again, it's on. You just go to our website, which is the social value group, and then you're going to click on about team profiles, and this has all of our team profiles, including myself, Abu Bakar. I don't think we have Ben. That's interesting. We need to get Ben on here. So we're on line 90. Okay, so line 90 has the profiles. So it does remind me that we do need to get Ben's profile. So let me click here. So at Ben, going over terms here and realize that we did not have your in bio and agreements verified. So please do that ASAP to stay in the budget. Let us know if you have questions. All right. So terms. So let's go over the terms together. See if you have questions. These terms came out of the fact. Oh wait, this is not the correct link for the terms. I have a better link. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Join it. Okay, so I got that. We need terms. Where would the terms be? SFC. Okay, so this is the better link for the terms. It just like looks prettier on this link, so I'm gonna switch this out. So if you look on line 89,
Where did you put the link?
yeah, it's just this is the
Line
better. Yeah, so
89.
this is the more official like terms here. So let's go over it. So you put your name and your email, how you're feeling. We always do that for all of our voting. All right. So then the first one is the publicly accountable communication. So we are publicly accountable organization. A lot of our goals are transforming the world and changing public policy and changing how governance structures work and how decision making is done and how economic systems function. So everything we do affects potentially billions of people.
Stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. So yeah, so as I was saying, everything we do potentially affects billions of people. So therefore, we require public accountability. So are there any questions on the public accountability communications? So this means that anything and everything can be broadcast, like we're doing now. We do recordings. If you have private information, you do not want to make it public. Also, if we get anyone else's private information, we have to, by law, keep it private. This includes personal identifiable information, bank account information, social security numbers, anything that gives away someone's personal location, address, just emails, all that kind of stuff. That is all personal identifiable information. It's by law, we cannot make it public without permission. Okay. So any questions on public accountability?
All good for now, Jay.
Okay. So the next one is a relationship to the overall co-op, which is the social freelance community. This all came out of, again, the whole legal action, all the situation we had with the past team that kind of fell apart. There's only 4 people that were really upset out of like the 10 or 15 people involved. And they basically just wanted to get paid for doing budget and payroll only without any client work income. And that was the main dispute. So the main thing that we're changing here with the social freelance community is that client work income is required for pay. It was required before, but now we're making it like a core component. So we also have pay stops, which means we are required to do the work by the deadline, but you got to agree to all the deadlines. So right now we have no deadlines except for the budget. The budget is due on the new moon. There's no other deadlines, okay? So we're required to set deadlines, and then we're required to get the work done by the deadlines or to change the deadlines, and we'll go over that some more. So overall, there's a lot of details here, and there's all the links to all of our other policies and everything else. Basically, it's like a terms of involvement. If you want me to go through each one, I'm happy to.
The details for the recruitment details and the HR.
Well, this is the social freelance community terms. This is the terms of involvement as a worker and owner. So
Okay.
when you join us, you are an owner, right? And then you're also a worker, right? So we work for ourselves as a cooperative, right? We all have equal vote. We're all partners, right? So this all goes over how the
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So this goes how you are agreeing to being a business partner in the Social Value Group, right? And that you agree to self-employment freelance contractor status, and you actually agree to provide proof of self-employment freelance contractor status, right? So it's very important for people to understand that they are agreeing into a
Yes.
freelance agreement and ownership agreement. So you're an owner of the cooperative. We are a cooperative of freelancers. We are the social freelance community, and we like. I'm not your boss. The boss is the team. The boss is the co-op. Whatever decision the co-op makes is final, right? So hopefully that makes sense here. There's plenty of other details. I could go over every single one of these details if you wanted, but the bottom line here is you're required to do client work to get paid, right? If people just want to do a budget and to do the payroll every month for however long they want to write in their timesheet, they're not getting paid upfront money. Does that make sense? Like, we're not paying people to just budget themselves and to pay themselves. You actually have to do the client work income, which means the assigned client work income by the clients that are paying for the money to bring the income into the team to run the payroll. Without that, there's no money. Okay? So that is the most important thing that everybody needs to understand. No client work, no pay, not even minimum wage. We actually used to guarantee everybody minimum wage regardless of doing client work, and we paid a lot of money for people not doing work,
Doing anything.
probably in the range of $50,000 over the last year or two, right? So the bottom line is, like, if people don't want to work, it's fine. I don't care if people don't want to work, but you're not getting paid. If you don't want to do the client work income, you're not getting paid. Not even minimum wage. So you're only guaranteed to get pay if you do the client work income. And then as I went over already, which we'll go over many more times, minimum 33% of time on client work to get paid. Okay. So, and then we write here this should say SFC, right? FQN was the old group. So SFC is the same thing. It's basically like volunteering if you do not do the expected client work income output, right? So people actually have to do the work. Otherwise, you're basically volunteering. Like, you're not getting paid to just sit around and watch other people work and not do anything. Okay, that makes sense?
Yes.
Are there any other questions on this? Or obviously,
now inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Obviously, if you have questions, you can ask them at any time. And you can, and if you have any things that you don't like about the policies, we can change the policies to get agreement on it. So I have no problem changing these policies. We just need to change them. So for example, right here, it's 1.5 hours per day, and then it's 1.5 hours per week per assigned client responsibility. So when you're working on client work, you're supposed to spend an hour a day. You just spend an hour a day on one client, or maybe get 1 to 2 hours on a client assignment, and then you go on to the next client assignment, and then you pick it up again the next week. That's how you maximize the money. You shouldn't spend if you spend 20 hours on one single client work assignment in a single week, you're working 18.5 more hours than you're getting paid, right? You want to focus on 1.5 hours per week per client assignment. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of work to do. We need to keep all the work moving forward. All right. Also, if you do not work at least 10% of client work hours, you're supposed to do 33%, then you automatically get fired and go on probation and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I go on and on. There's all these details here. I think we're good on all of this. Any other questions about this particular overall terms. There's 2 more sets of terms that we need to go through. So these are the terms for the co-op. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm all good. I'm going to the next page.
Okay, so the next one
after this page,
is the social value group terms. So this is saying that you agree to be a partner or social value group and agree to all the business terms and operation responsibilities as an owner, because you are an owner in the cooperative, but you're also an owner in the social value group, which is our public facing company that we get clients with. So your role as an owner has nothing to do with your pay or your work as a contractor in the co-op, right? So this is a separate agreement and additional equity that you're getting on top of all of your co-op tokens in equity ownership. And the key thing here is that you're required to provide a bio, a picture, and your link to your professional profile, right? So we want to make sure we get your link to professional profile. So that can be like your Upwork profile or LinkedIn or whatever. And that's pretty much it. Details. This does not represent all legal issues. So there's still other legal things that happen with ownership, but you are agreeing to provide proof of self-employment.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
As a freelancer, and so this is the self-employment freelancer proof link. So we have the links to the instructions here that you can look at, and that goes through, and there's also examples here on what that looks like. Okay.
Yep.
So
we'll review it after.
And this is basically not that big a deal because we're hiring you through Upwork, but we do want to eventually make sure we get this verified. But more importantly is just getting you approving the terms, and then getting a bio and for the website and your link to it, so that we can get that all updated and set up. Okay, so then from there, any questions on social value group terms, and specifically, being a partner in social value group?
Not so far. Most probably by tomorrow once I reviewed documents later.
Cool. Yeah. And again, just to make sure it's very clear, there's 2 totally separate organizations. The primary organization is the co-op, that we're all work together as a co-op, and that's where you get your equity value package of $750,000 over 4 years whole time, which includes all your tokens. The social value group is only 1% per year at full time, so up to 5 years, I believe. Yeah, so up to 5 years. So you can get up to 5. Each owner can build ownership up to maximum 5% over 5 years. So if social value group became very successful and had a bunch of money, you could own up to 5% of the company. Okay, but it doesn't have any tokens. There's no direct ability to sell your value. It is very different than the co-op and the co-op tokens. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. So then the last part is us, right? So we're the work continuity group. This is the team that you're being hired into. And so these terms are much more specific, and so we want to go through them in detail. So we're going to take a break. After we take a break, we're going to come back through these terms. They're not that complicated, but it's just very important that we are on the same page on them, especially the key that all communications are required to be publicly searchable. And this relates to setting up our communications, because no one's ever done this before, so that we can move forward in a functional way. All right. So let's go ahead and take a break. And then when we come back, let's go over the work continuity group terms. And then we can get these all finalized and verified. So just to review here.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
We're going to get agreement on the terms. We're going to do the profile and bio for the website, and then you're eventually going to do your self-employment freelance proof, and then you'll be officially hired. Okay, so that's all. And then of course the HR board is going to review, but that's not a big deal unless they have any concerns. Okay, So then once you're hired, we're going to go into the next steps, which includes the orientation, scheduling. Maybe we do that tomorrow, and then some of our priorities. Like we want to go over clear priorities in the next steps. So, oops. We already went through actually some of these priorities already, but we can go into more detail on each of these priorities and scheduling and coordinating for them. All right, 5-minute break, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And we're at 2 hours right now. Just to remind you, we're at 2 hours. So after an hour and a half, basically, I'm encouraging you to encourage us to stop working, right? Because your goal is working an hour and a half per day. So by agreeing to work more than an hour and a half, so we're going on to 2 hours, we really should be checking out and continuing tomorrow. So before we continue, before we take a break, are you willing to continue even though we're past the hour and a half?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So just to make sure that's clear, we always want to double check and verify, and this is part of the 1.5 hours per day, is that we have a very tight budget, so if people are willing or interested in going more than the 1.5 hours, that goes into the tokens and the equity ownership value. So there's nothing like, we don't want to make anything secret, make everything be transparent, open from the very beginning of how it all works and what we're asking people to do. And it can actually be harder to work only an hour and a half a day. But that's part of the challenge, that sometimes these sessions can go very long, and sometimes it just goes too long. I guess we have to just stop, But anyways, let's take a break. Hopefully just one more segment, and then it'd be great to check out and finish up. Okay?
Okay.
So quick 4-minute break.
Get focused on the session.
All right, I'm back.
Yep, I'm here.
So we're just quickly going over these terms for work continuity groups. So let's go over them in detail because this is us, okay? So again, the co-op is just like the overall co-op for all the teams. There's multiple teams, right? And we can always set up more teams internal to the co-op. And eventually we want to separate the old world team from the new world team. Maybe we'll be able to do that one day. But work continuity group is our team, right? And the same thing's true with the social value group. It's like the overall business front. All right, so details. Only get paid for the octant you're working on 1.5 hours a day. We're already over 1.5 hours a day, and this is for the upfront pay, so then it goes into the equity tokens and ownership of the co-op. If you work other octants, you work more than 1.5 hours an octant, then the equity ownership capital. So this is like your capital account. It's 100% at risk. It is not have any. It doesn't have any value until we do the token profiles. We actually create value. Okay. You are not required or assigned to work more than 1.5 hours a day per octant. So you are assigned for 2 octants. You're gonna have to schedule a time during Old World, and you can schedule in the Discord. Let's make sure you get into the Discord because this is where everyone else communicates. So if we just get the link here, I'm gonna link this to line 120. Link to SFC Co-op Discord.
So I need to create a Discord account, right?
What? You need to what?
To create as well a Discord account.
You never used Discord before?
No, I mean, I haven't for quite some time, so I need to create a new login.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whatever login you want, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, under our terms, we'll go over this more. As you go down to the bottom, it says the terms are all communication required to be on publicly searchable platform. Discord is not a publicly searchable platform. Right? So you're only if you only do 25% of our communications on publicly searchable platforms, then you only get 25% of your upfront pay. So this is very important that all of our communications happen on publicly searchable platforms. So this includes our email group, our website, our Facebook, our LinkedIn group. We can do Twitter, Reddit. All of these are publicly searchable platforms. What's not a publicly searchable platform is Discord. To get into Discord, you have to have the special little link that I just gave you, right? But everyone else on the team communicates on Discord, right? But we can't communicate. If we want to get paid...
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
If we want to get upfront pay, we need to be working on the publicly searchable platforms, right? So this is the Discord platform, so we can make a quick list of all the publicly searchable platforms that we can use. So let's do that next site because we need to be doing that because it's part of our policies and we don't get paid without it. So this is a specific thing that's only applicable to the work continuity group for you and anyone else we hire into the work continuity group, as well as me and everything, right? So I want to eventually get paid as well, but so publicly searchable communications are very, very important, okay? So we'll go through that next. So this is good. So to get full upfront pay, you need to spend 33% of your time on client work income. That's 30 minutes of client work per day per octant. So you have 2 octants, that's going to be 1 hour per day. No upfront pay for any other octant that you're not assigned for. Required to set deadlines to have pay stops. So we're required to have deadlines. The only deadline that currently exists for the co-op is the budget. Okay, so if we don't get the budget updated and done by the deadline, then we don't get paid. Okay, we can get upfront pay always for completing the work beyond any octant or limitations of any pay stops. The budget is just getting paid for not completing work. So again, anytime we complete work, we can still get paid for all of that time. We just have to complete the work. The purpose of the work continuity group is continuity of work from day to day. So you're responsible to show up every day, 1.5 hours to make sure someone else shows up. So you are not responsible for being here every day. You're only responsible to make sure someone else shows up every day. So If you are not able to make it, or you only want to do 5 days a week or even 4 days a week, that's all perfectly fine. We just need to do more recruitment. We need to find people who can fill in the extra days. Okay?
Yes.
If you miss a day without taking leave or getting someone else to fill in for you, then you will be penalized. 1 day missed is acknowledging that you missed the day. 2 days missed is a warning in policy training. 3 days missed, automatic probation. So if you disappeared until like Monday, Tuesday, right? You would automatically go on probation. And then if you missed an additional day until Tuesday, Wednesday, then you would be, we would initiate more recruitment. And then after 5 days, you basically get removed from the budget, right? So our goal is, like, within a week, the person's gone. If you disappear for a week, which happens all the time, it's like you're gone. We're not going to sit here and like endlessly try to communicate with someone for months like we've had in the past. It's just ridiculous. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
And obviously, if you want to quit or you want to take a leave, if you're
Time
sick
for
or you need to go on
breath.
vacation,
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
if you take a vacation or whatever, you just let us know and what the date that you're going to be coming back. We call that a leave. Under our policies, we also have benefits for paid leave, paid sick leave, all of that, but it's all based on client work income. Details. All communications are required to be publicly searchable platforms. So we already went over that. We'll go through the list of the platforms and the links to all of those. List of platforms that are not publicly searchable. So Workana, Discord, Upwork, Skype, WhatsApp. Any sort of direct message is not. Jay, I'm okay with hiring, but I think supervisor is a high. We must go with it. Then I think we should increase the hourly pay of current workers like Lucy. Well, that's up to Lucy. So, anyways, it looks like Abu Bakar is okay with you being hired, but he does think that $6 an hour is high. Your jurisdictional rate is actually lower than anyone else except for me. Okay. Any other questions about the WCG terms?
I'm all good.
Okay, so the last one I think is just all the other policies and the whole Unity methodology. So that's just our general thing. So it's not really anything specific. So I think that is it for the terms. Any other questions on the terms in general?
So far, Jay, I'm all good. I'll just have to re-review it after.
Of course, right. Are you approving them now, or are you going to go over them in more detail?
We'll review it today. Just give me an hour or two just to review it.
Cool. And again, any terms or policies that you don't particularly like, we can just change the policies. So we can always change the policies. It's just a matter of doing it and making the proposals and figure out how we want to change them so that they affect everybody. All right, so let's and then remember, so your next steps are the terms. You need to do your bio, your profile picture, the self-employed freelance proof, right? So these are all tasks that you have. And then the next step, I was going to quickly go over the
Time
publicly
to pause.
searchable platforms.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So
I am on the create your own.
Huh?
So after signing, so I signed it and submitted.
Yeah, did you do that?
Yep. Then I have to choose an account, right?
For Discord?
No, for the document that I agreed to it.
I don't think you need to have
I'm
an
on
account.
the form.
No, I don't think there's any account. No account. You just sign it and you push approve and that's it. It's done.
Okay.
Cool. So while you do that, I'm gonna try to get our email group. So let's see here, Google Groups. Oh no, groups. So SFC. There we go. SFC recruit, SFC membership.
So you're on the line 134 on topic 3, right? On the assigned task.
I'm on topic 3. I'm on line 124. This is the email Google group here.
Yep, the links.
The website we don't have yet. The Facebook group, I'm pretty sure I did a Facebook group and a LinkedIn group. And then Twitter is pretty easy because you could just do a hashtag, you know, hashtag SFC. So let me just find the Facebook and LinkedIn, and then I think that's it. So I think we might have created one for a work continuity group as well, though. Right. So did you have any other questions, or are you working on that, or?
Time to stretch.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Please stop.
Everything is
stand up, and
everything is
stretch and move
straightforward,
around
Jake.
for 30 seconds.
So again, say again.
Everything is straightforward.
Okay, cool. So anyways, I just need to get the link for the Facebook and the LinkedIn group. I had them from before, but maybe I have it right here. Let's see, Facebook. No, I just did the Google group for the email. So anyways, I have the link for the Facebook and the LinkedIn. I'll get it and link it there. So otherwise, I think we're pretty much done here. You have all your assigned tasks, which is basically the terms, profile picture, self-employment,
And
freelance proof, and then you have one thing I need to do is I need to get so Jay's tasks are linked to Facebook and LinkedIn, WCG groups. I already got the one for the email, and then I also need to make Angelito's. You're going to have a main sheet, so I'm going to send that to you, which has the links to everything, including the orientation information. And then you're going to want to schedule with Lucy and Mamu, and then obviously show up for tomorrow's session. Andromeda, same time every day. Yeah. So I think that's it. Can you think of anything else?
All good, Jim.
If you want to, we could schedule the orientation for tomorrow, but I think the best thing to do is to go over priorities. You can also read through the joining the team packet. Be sure to track all your hours on your POP. So another thing that I need to do is set up the work continuity group pay tracking spreadsheet. So I have that. I just need to make a tab for you. Make a tab for Angelito. So that's another task for me. And then you want to, for now, just track all your hours on your POP. So let's look at that real quick for today. So if we go to your POP, we come into today, we are currently at 3.5 hours. All right? Excellent. So I think that's it. I think we're ready to wrap up and check out. The only other thing we could really do right now is going over more of the priorities and answering any questions related to the actual work.
Yeah, for tomorrow, the Andromeda meet, still the same link, right?
Time to
Correct.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So the best place to communicate is the email group and the Discord group. The email group is the best place for us to get used to communicating, but don't hesitate to communicate on Workana until we get our communications set up outside of Workana. Okay, but we want to be communicating on the email group or the Facebook group or the LinkedIn group. I will get those as soon as possible. So Facebook. Otherwise, I think that's it. So, but do you have any other questions on? I guess the only other thing for the priorities is just like our general priorities are going to be our assets are going to be dealing with the token profiles and getting the tokens set up. We need to help the team. The team has issues and problems getting organized. We need to do the payroll. We need to do the budget, and we need to do obviously government compliance and taxes. Super duper important, which also includes some of our bills. And we have all of the revenue generation that we need to be working on, and the new investment agreement. So I'd say these are kind of our top priorities as a team. And then also recruitment. Like we need to have more people. We need to recruit more people, right? But then we need to prioritize client work income. So I'll just add that to the list, right? Overall, we need to prioritize client work income. So a lot of these are client work income, including even New World recruitment, right? Cool. All right.
Yes.
So I think that's it. Any other questions? Otherwise, I think this is sort of our general priorities is kind of like our wrap up. And we already did.
Thank you, Jay. We appreciate it. We'll review and rerun it so that I will be most comfortable on the terms and the navigation part of the Google Sheets documents that we have.
Great. And just be sure to track all your hours that you spend, and then we will get focused on some client work, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. But we need to continue to prioritize everything. And we do have actually a lot of spreadsheets that go over all our priorities, including our client work priorities. So we can update those as well tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's actually add that to our list of priorities, which would be client work priorities, to kind of like look at our client work priorities.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
All right. So let's go ahead and check out. So my checkout is going to be a 7. I give the session a 7. It was a good session. I really enjoyed, the professionality, and we got through everything pretty quick. It would be great if we can get you doing some note taking and everything. So I'm on the checkout tab, but I can write and talk as best as I can. So I will be working on obviously assets. I'll be working on the token profiles. I'm really working hard to get the token set up and functional, but it's still going to take a while. I'm working on the recruitment. I'm gonna get all of those tasks done, including the Facebook group and LinkedIn group. I don't know what your preference is for publicly searchable communications, but it's like whatever you want to do is fine with me. I want to update the recruitment website, or this recruitment site, and I definitely not sure if I'll get to it, but I do want to start drafting that investment agreement. It'll be really good. All right, check. So then you're going to check out. You're going to give a number of how the session went for you from 1 to 9, and then what you're going to be working on.
Okay. Definitely it's a 9. The session was real quick, and as I was able to get the general idea of how to do the daily admin tasks that we have.
Okay, but what are you going to be working on moving forward?
I'm going to be reviewing on the different sheets, uh, like the agenda, the setup, and the roles, and review all the links that you had provided as well. So I need to log that in the specific check-ins, right? I know.
I would say the most important thing that you need to do if you want to work with us is your bio and your picture. So we need to get a picture and we need a bio. Okay,
Okay.
so you're going to get us a profile picture and a bio for the website, and then you already, are going to do the terms. I don't know if you already did the terms, but
Time
obviously.
to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But I think it's possible that you already did your terms, so it just depends on whether you did that. We just need to get it. I guess we could say we need to get the terms verified. Get terms verified, right? Cool. So
You're
these
on
are.
what tab again, Jay?
Say again.
You're on what tab? On priority?
I went back to that
Topic 3?
higher proposal of the assigned tasks, line 134 to 139. So these are the primary tasks that you should be doing to make sure we can get you all hired and move forward.
Okay.
Okay, and if you have any questions, just ask questions. Again, try to get onto Discord. I guess we could add that, get on Discord with the Discord link in the Discord communications, because that's where you can communicate with the rest of the team. And then me and you, I already got the link for the work continuity group. So this is for Facebook. I got the link for Facebook. So I'll put that on line 126. And then I'll also get the link for LinkedIn. Okay, so let's go back to the checkouts. What are your top priorities that you're going to be working on?
For the checkout, that would be, this is on the top higher proposal, right? 134 to 139.
Yeah, but in terms of your checkout, the question for checkouts is what are you going to be working on? So just make it really clear exactly what your priorities are for working on to prepare for tomorrow and the next day.
Okay. Get the terms are already verified. Work on my profile pic, bio, and website for the website, and self-employee freelance proof.
Perfect. Cool. Sounds great.
And the schedule with Lucy and Mamu.
Yeah, and that's going to be on Discord.
Yeah.
So I'll add that here. So scheduling with Mamu and Lucy on Discord. But again, they're probably not going to be available since I can't even schedule with them. But they're at Old World, so it might be easier to schedule with you. And then we're going to be working on hiring additional people who can schedule with you for Old World as well. All right. All right. I think that's it. I think we are officially done. It's been 3.5 hours, so we're perfect. Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow, same time, and just let me. We should check in beforehand as well. I'll probably send a message. Hopefully, you'll be on Discord by that time. But just let me know whatever you're best with communicating. For me, email.
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Just let me know where you want to communicate. I mean, for me, X or Twitter works really well. Email works really well. Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these are perfectly fine places to communicate. We can also eventually get our website updated with all of our public communications on the website. Oh, and okay, I did get the LinkedIn here as well. So yeah, just let me know where you want to communicate so that we can be communicating regularly. Okay?
Yes, Jay.
But for now, if you don't know where you want to communicate, we can at least do Discord and work on it. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Yes, thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Ciao.